G'day viewers and hello from Bonsai Bros, Dan here. Just going to show you a bit about how I cut my gemstones, what I'm using at the moment. This is all the tools that I pretty much need to do garnets and amethyst and quartz. You use different grit sandpapers, start off at 320 and go all the way down to 2000 grit paper. After I use the 2000 grit, I'll move on to some gold and silver polish and diamond and jewellery cleaner, which is just something I found in Mum's cupboard. It's good stuff, we've been using it for years. At the moment I'm cutting a pair of garnets. Hope you can see that I can't really see what I'm recording as I'm recording it at the moment. Flying blind. Now this is a little device that I made with it was a microscope with alligator clips on the end of it, and I used to use it for aero modelling. So now I've took the magnifying glass off the end and used a Dremel piece as a dop and just hot glue gun dot to the I think it's called a horn kind of a device. I can move it different angles, pretty much any angle I want I can get with it. So I've basically done these up to a point where they won't move unless you use a fair amount of force, more than I'd use polishing stone, so don't have to screw them every time. Good way to find where I'm going to cut the stone without cutting it is just use a little polish or thing really, and just drop the stone onto the glass here. Make sure everything's settled and level, and I can visually inspect where I've made a mark, if any, see if it's okay to start sanding. Once you start sanding you get a better idea, and if it's not right you can change it. And yeah, basically do it by eye. I like to use a little bit of water every now and again, not much because the grit just starts to come off some of these papers, but start off, look and see where it's polishing. It looks to be good to me, so I'll just continue on. See that it's started to cut there, well you might not be able to see, I'm not sure. And like I said, then we'll just work our way through the grits, ending up at 2000. And the way I get the polish is by using the back of the paper, so no grit. Apply a little bit of this polish. You could use cerium oxide, which would be the best, but I don't have any of that at the moment. Then again, it's going to dry up here, or it's a bit of a dry paste, so you can give it a spray and then polish with the polish on the opposite side of the sandpaper here, which brings it up pretty nicely. And then I'll give it a final polish with the Dremel and a little buffing wheel. But you don't want to do that too much because you could wear your facet cuts off and they'll get rounded, so you want to avoid that too much. I can use this little torch, the little light. It's a nice way to look without glaring your eyes at the stone, what you're doing. It's also got black light, I think it's black light, and laser. See what kind of clarity you've got. It's good to see where your reflection angles are going to go as well. I use super glue for the stone, which I just use a razor blade to remove it. It comes off quite easily, especially with garnets because they're quite hard and take a nice polish. Now that facet's not finished, but gives you an example how it polishes. There's a polished area on this side and still not quite polished here. Like you can see the difference. So with this garnet I'm hoping to get actually a pair of maybe cushion cut or square brilliant cut stones, maybe rectangular, to see how the other stone fits with this one. I have to obviously match them up. Show you some of the stones that I've already cut so far. Now this is the garment which will go with the pair. So I'll be cutting that one after I'm finished its sister. I'll put that there for now. This is the first ever stone I cut, It's more or less a free form garnet. It's a bit of a window. It's not too bad for my first cut, and I was pretty happy with it. Sorry, I think that's the third stone. I'll show you the second stone would be, I think it's a piece of rose quartz, so it's a clear rose quartz that I've brilliant cut. It's not perfect, but without any instructions or really knowing what I'm doing with not the proper machinery, I was pretty happy with it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera quite well, but I don't want to drop it here because I've got holes on my floor, but I'll put it on this mirror. Give a bit of a better shot of that one. So that's the pair to the garnet. Let's move that to the side. Yeah, so you get an idea. It's not quite deep enough, but I didn't realise the depth that it should be. I had no instructions, so yeah, I'll try doing a deeper one next time. But the sandpaper and a tool that I made for free is pretty good. This is the third one. I tried to do put it on here as well. It's a amethyst, which I took out of a geode. Tried to do a oval cut on this one. I do mine sapphires, and it's given me a good idea of the amount of loss that I'll lose from a stone. Go and bring it, for example, I'll use this through the stages of cutting, get a good idea of what I'm losing, so I might end up with a 0.40 stone here after cutting. I'll let you guys know, and I'll do an update once I'm finished cutting these garnets as well. That's about it. Thank you very much. I'll give you an update when these two garnets are cut.